It tries last minute.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see who this weekend, other than the Canada-US, who becomes the fan favorite, as you say, the underdog.
So now we have Guyana that won 10-0, and now we have Bahamas. Which two teams are coming up right now? Cayman Islands and Barbados here on the field. So that's again from
officials for this match. Referee Alan Edpa from Guyana, assistant referees Andrew McMaster from Canada, and Keith Hodgkins from Bermuda.
So now it's Morgan Williams.
Fine. I think we're about to start, so going live. So reintroduce where you are, who you are,
okay.
All that stuff.
All right, we're back in action here with the Bahamas and Cayman Islands, and we have Rob Turk and myself, Fred Asselin here. We're kicking off already. It's really quick. It's one match after the other. That's the great thing about 7 again. You know, you can come for a day of all teams, pick your favorite team. So we have here in blue and yellow the Bahamas, and I'd say white, blue, and red. With the Red Sox here, we have Cayman Islands that are coached by our own Morgan Williams. You know, one of our legendary players. He's used his skills in many years now. He's using them as a coach and to promote rugby in the world. I mean, that's outstanding. A great guy,
yes,
also.
That's it. Part of the brotherhood and sisterhood of the game.
Yeah.
Is passing your knowledge on to different tiers that may be below you. And Morgan's obviously been an ambassador for Rugby Canada and international rugby. Good to see him out there.
I think there's just a little. I don't know exactly how much time he's been spending with the Caymans, but I can guarantee you that. His knowledge will give him a great boost having a guy like him on the bench coaching. I'm expecting quite a bit of the Caymans actually in this tournament.
Yeah, the Cayman Islands, I mean, they have experience. They have Josh and Joel Clark, which are their homegrown
brothers,
of course, and have come up through the program and playing a little bit of rugby overseas. So they're going to lean on them to exert their experience. And
all right, let's see them go here. Cayman Islands. Spreading the ball wide.
And
there we go. Oh. There we go, out of bounds. There'll be a line out for Bahamas.
Yeah, Bahamas got a nice defensive structure.
Yep.
Come across the field. Again, Bahamas is a team that, Barbados rather, a team that has a lot of experience and players who've come from overseas.
Well, they had a, I call it blanket defense. You know, it just looks like a straight line of guys coming across, working together. When we see that, that means it's they've obviously worked on their defense. The idea is for the offensive team to disarray their defense and try to get through somewhere. But look at that. You know, it's a nice line here in defense.
Well, you can see the skills that Morgan Williams worked on passing. Lovely passes to
Look
hands,
at these guys spreading out. Yep, definitely.
Absolutely. They're going to look to bring the ball
there
back here and create that
They
overlap.
got a great overlap already. Oh, get a more powerful guy through here.
Lovely skills, lovely pass.
Oh, powering through here. Penalty against Bahamas. 2 meters out. That's all right. That wasn't a knock on. Try by Cayman Islands.
So I think.
Well, we had a little mishap here, but it's actually Cayman Islands against Barbados, not Bahamas. We saw them play earlier. My mistake. I apologize for that. So Barbados and the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, Barbados getting a little bit sloppy at the breakdown there. Man falling over the ball. You can't do that. You need to stay on your side, drive through the ruck cleanly. And they were penalized for it, and Cayman Islands score a try. We had noted Barbados player number 5, Sean Ward, tall, strong playmaker. He's the decision maker out there. They're going to be leaning on him to create plays, score tries, get their team on the clock here.
Yeah, he's an organizer of the team. His experience, will be used. And oh, there you go.
So that's number
Straight
7.
through the gap.
Leon Driscoll.
A little loose with the ball. You got to always comes down to that. You got to hold on to the ball, otherwise nothing can happen. So in this situation here, it was holding on too loosely. You got to keep that ball and just go into contact, reset, and go again. A lot of these teams this morning, I've found that just a little loose with the ball. Just go back to the basics a little bit. Just make sure you just keep a hold on to it. Now penalty going into the scrum here.
First game for both these teams,
Yep.
still adjusting to
Exactly.
the heat, getting all the cobwebs out, as they say.
Exactly right. We see Barbados well spread out here.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing is you notice lots of depth.
I think here we have the referee explaining to Cayman Islands the rules in the scrum, just to make sure that in the next scrum they know what they're doing.
Quick tap, and here we go.
There we go. He's expecting a set play here, but oh, out of bounds.
We've seen early in this game for Barbados, number 12, Dominique Peters, exerting his force. He's a big, strong, powerful unit. Looks like he's taking the ball into contact a lot. Just needs to offload that ball into the gap for Barbados to get on the scoreboard. And one thing you don't see a lot of is the line out. Looks a little disarrayed.
Yep.
But the point is winning the ball back.
Well, it's not like in 15s. The set plays are a lot more difficult in 7s. There's a lot more chance for a challenge. In 15s you expect teams to win their ball back, but in 7s anybody can win it back.
Looks like we have a try
Yep.
here for Barbados.
Yeah, that's right. Whoa.
So it came off the steal again. Turnover is crucial in any game. Definitely in 7s. There's only 7 players on the field. It's easy to expose players. They turn the ball over, move the ball wide, score for Barbados, even the game up.
We'll have to see here for the 2 points, but definitely so far 7-5. Did you get to see the number of who scored here?
I didn't, but lovely little skills from Tom Lucas, their number 10. Looks
Yeah.
like he's
Set up the
playmaker. Great passes. And that's a big
conversion here.
Big conversion for
Right
Barbados
from the corner, yeah.
to tie the game up. It's interesting we talk about the skill development and that being such a crucial part of the development of the Caribbean area.
Yeah.
The athletes are there, the speed is there, the heart is there, but guys like Morgan Williams going down.
Yeah. And what we found is, the British too, the British aspect of the islands,
Big influence there.
that's where it comes from, It's been around for a long, long time. But guys, obviously, like we mentioned, gravitating towards 7s rugby instead of cricket or other sports that are very popular in the islands.
And
A lot of these teams have great cricket teams too,
Absolutely. Now with rugby in the Olympics, see more development, more time and resources. And that's one of the challenges we talked about earlier, having the resources to play in international tournaments. A lot of these guys just play against each other. They have small clubs, a pool to draw from, and it's challenging.
Yep, and the funds also, some of these teams were fundraising up until last week to come into this tournament. So you see that, they're working hard, they're motivated, they want to come on these. Well, here we have a challenge for the ball here.
Lovely little chip from the Cayman Islands. Nice
Good
switch.
defense by Barbados here.
Might be a holding on penalty here. Yep.
Yep, that's exactly. Sometimes it's better to let the guy actually go ahead of you for the ball, and then you go and try to steal it after. You'll see some these guys with more experience.
Lovely little step.
Yeah.
And that is number 12. Am I going to attempt this? Maybe you are.
Well, this is actually a Fijian, Venasio. Venasio and Toka Vanua.
Beautiful.
It's one of their Fijians, as we see in many countries now, experienced players that have a parent or they've lived in the country for a long time will play for a nation, you know, and there are rules around that also. I think it's the same as in 15s. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that if you've played for one country in rugby, you can't play for another anymore.
And that's it. So you see players, and that's one of the things you see. The players come from all over, a lot of different backgrounds. One of the beautiful part about the games. But maybe one of the challenges that the teams face.
Yep.
Players from all over coming together, putting together competitive spot.
All right, so we have 12-7 for the Cayman Islands. So great start for the Cayman Islands. Again, you know, this is the great part of it. You know, it's a close game. Anything can happen in the second half. That's what makes it exciting. I think our fans here need to wake up a little bit. You know, if we go in other countries, at this point, you know, they're already cheering. We see costumes. I see some of them. Some of these guys are getting ready. They're warming up.
Oh, well, we've seen a few costumes. The beer garden's open soon, and we'll get exciting here. Absolutely.
Yep, definitely. I've seen Twin Elm full before, and the ambiance in this place, it can be very exciting. You know, and that in itself will raise the level of play. You know, it's not just the players. You know, sometimes the energy coming from the crowd will definitely light it up. I mean, you've been in Hong Kong. I mean, that's the amazing experience of being in the Hong Kong Sevens. Yeah. It's like a World Cup every year, and the fans. I mean, it's festive rugby, they call it. And again, I mentioned earlier, the great part of Sevens is you can have, you know, a few minutes off to go and have a beer, come back, watch a game. You kind of choose your games around the schedule, and eventually you pick a favorite team, and then you follow them through the tournament. So you'll see a lot of fans do that.
Absolutely, and that's what we talked about, the pace of the tournament, and that is why it's going to be so wonderful to see at the Olympics. There's not going to be anything like it. One team after the other, high action, great athletes on the men's and women's side.
And not all the teams, you know, we talked about that yesterday. Not all the teams will go to the Olympics because it's a regional tournament. So some of these great teams might not even go to the Olympics, like we saw this year in soccer. I mean, no Germany. You know, there's a lot of teams that don't get the opportunity because they're in a region where there's a lot of top teams. So that's the other part. I mean, for some teams, you think, oh, New Zealand will end up there easily. Well, no, you know, and you never know. You lose the wrong game at the wrong time. That's it for you. No opportunities in the Olympic, and that's actually the Olympics. It's made to be hard. It can't be just a shoe-in, you're heading off. Yeah, all right, go ahead, Rob.
And that's why these build-ups, I was going to say, these build-ups are so important, right? Developing these skills early and winning games.
And traveling together, and
you know, part of it. It's all part of that build-up.
And what I'm I say that a lot, but the recovery in these sevens tournaments. I mean, you know, Rob. I mean, a 2-day tournament is there's 3-day tournaments, you know, and recovery. That's why rugby athletes are great athletes. They're all-around athletes because it's not just playing. You're playing a few games a day. It's a lot of sprint. Acid lactic will come into your body. Oh, there we go. Barbados. Oh, broke a tackle here on the wing and try in the corner for Barbados. Whoa, this is a tie game for the moment.
Lovely little try, Barbados. They're starting to become more comfortable as they set into this game, and you can start to see they're winning those breaks at the contact areas. Their skills, ball in hand, very nice, and it paid off in the corner here.
Like we mentioned, you know, any of these teams can upset. Oh. No, it just stopped. It just went dead.
Nope, we're good. So Barbados missing the conversion there, making the score 12-12. We got a tie game.
It just went dead for me.
So again, the time running up. We're at 9 minutes.
No, just for me.
Time.
He's good.
Okay, we're missing it for one player here.
Barbados making a substitution here. Again, one of the parts of the game, very tiring. You're sprinting all the time. You want to get fresh legs in, especially in the last few minutes, as we talked about. Very important.
All right, we have a tie game.
Lovely little kickoff. Skills from number 7, Barbados. That's Leon Driscoll.
we're actually getting familiar to names right now. We're a little far out to see all the numbers and everything, but as the tournament goes through, and we're going to get to know these great players, and we'll be able to be a little more specific on who has what at what time.
Absolutely. A little bit of sloppy scrum. I think a referee is going to want to reset this, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. The cadence changing for this international match. Players need to get used to that. It's different than what they're used to, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And we've seen a little bit of sloppy scrums so far.
Definitely. Well, it's been a tough morning, I say, just because of the dew and the humidity factor, and skill level is going to get better as the day goes on.
That's right. And that's one of the
ref
the
one
brothers
and two,
there.
Ref 1 and
Joel
2,
Clark
2,
going
2,
into contact.
Ref 1 and 2.
Ball
Ref
turned over, but
2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2.
Bahamas have the ball back. Caymans
2,
have
2, 2.
ball
Ref
back.
1 and 2 is good. I'm shaking them. I'm putting my body in between the antennas. We're good.
Huge collision in midfield.
I'm at the furthest point I can be, and
Barbados still
I'm
with the
putting my
ball.
body
Lovely
in
little
between
try.
the antenna and the receiver, so we should be good.
All right,
Cool.
here. Well, we saw another.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to be down on the field for the start of the next game, I guess.
Well, what we had here, I mean, it's important to be
Back
mentioned
and I'll
because
huddle near the ref table. Cool? Just be on standby to retest it with the ref, I guess. Thanks, buddy. We're good otherwise? We're good otherwise? Okay.
Barbados with a lovely little try. Big collision in midfield. It's good to see. Good to see him up, walking. Walk off the field is always a good thing.
Well, I was explaining here that if you're not held in a tackle, you can just get straight back up and run, right? So it's very important when you make a tackle to hold on to that guy. As at that moment, he has to release the ball. But if he's not held, like in this situation, at two occasions here, he got up. It was at Crompton that.
Yes, we got Simon Crompton coming on. The big Fijian who scored the lovely try is off.
Yeah.
They're going to get some fresh legs on, probably a tactical move from Morgan Williams there.
Well, 19-12, yeah. At this point, you start thinking full weekend and long day. So your top players, it's like in any sport, you can sit them down and start recuperating.
Yeah, you bet. We're actually looking at the Canadian team just underneath us here. All got water in their hands, in the shade, getting ready for their next match.
Probably some of them had a little massage, a little ice.
Oh, you bet.
You know those ice baths, eh?
Well, and they're baby these days, eh? Not like back in the day, right?
How about those ice baths, eh?
Oh.
Those are great. I mean, they're doing that in many sports. I remember we started that in the beginning and with some of their great physios and stuff, great ideas.
Yep.
And they're doing that in every sport now. So we'd set up 2 hotel rooms with 2 baths running, and then we'd be running from one side to the other, hot colds. That flushes out a bit of your system to be ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the vital parts of the games that you talked about, recovery. It's a long 2-day tournament. It's important to get the fluid back into you, get those legs rested.
So here we are. It's not over. Minute and a half to go, and we have Barbados down 5.
I think Barbados is
you're up 5. Sorry
Barbados
about
up 19-12. But Cayman Islands put here are going to want to keep the ball in the half, shut down the Barbados offensively right now, get a quick turnover, quick score, get back on the
It'd be a big
scoreboard.
win by Barbados here, I think. It'd be a big upset.
Yeah, both teams very close. Both teams, and again, lots to play for.
We just had a substitution here for Cayman Islands. No numbers, so hard to know exactly who came on, but they're looking for fresh legs here.
That's right. Barbados looking to spread the ball wide. You see both players, both wingers, very wide out.
Yeah.
They want those matchups outside and use their speed to their advantage. But exactly as we just
There
said,
we go.
the turnover Cayman Islands is looking for.
30 seconds, Cayman Islands right in front of the post here.
And then
Like-
and lovely, you're right in the middle of the field. It's a sport where when you're in the middle of the field, you have more options, of course, than just one side of the
Great
field.
position for a set play, definitely. Barbados making some changes also.
First thing will be to secure a solid scrum, get the ball out to one side of the field to the other, and attack with depth.
That's good. All right, here we go.
Cayman Islands just
Cayman
trying to
Islands,
maintain possession, but they got a penalty.
All right, penalty. Like mentioned earlier, you can't end it on a penalty. This could be a tie game.
Ooh.
Oh, almost a high tackle
Yeah,
here.
nice cover tackle, but getting up a little high. Again, you want to keep your tackles below the shoulder. That was up a little bit high. I'm surprised the referee didn't make a call on that.
I agree with you, Rob.
But nonetheless, ball spilled.
Here we go. Barbados still under a lot of pressure here. Caymans could steal the ball. Oh, there we go.
Lovely steal. Lovely steal from the Caymans. He needs to bring that ball down, move the ball back.
Keep it in bounds.
This is great work by the Cayman Islands.
They score under the post here. They could actually win the game, like we mentioned earlier on the last
Barbados shooting up.
Fast guys on this Barbados team. Great athletes.
Lovely little turnaround. Cayman look for the corner. Again, a high tackle.
Tried for the swivel here.
I'd be surprised if the referee doesn't call a high tackle. It's 2 in a row.
He's got an advantage, arm running out. Advantage.
Cayman Islands just looking to work the ball back. This is one of the advantages of keeping the ball, keeping the possession. You have multiple opportunities to score.
Barbados holding up, but Cayman Islands also.
There we go.
Penalty again. That was an advantage for a high tackle, Rob. I mean, 2 in a row.
It'll be interesting what the referee. Looks like you're going to slow it down a bit. Now there's no time left. This is one of the excitements about the game. 19-12. Cayman Islands down, looking to score, tie the game, or if not win it.
Important to have a cool head here.
Those skills vital.
Can't do it by yourself.
Great support by Cayman Islands. Turnover ball though.
Yeah, turnover ball.
Barbados got a hand in there. So an unfortunate loss for the Cayman Islands, but a great game to watch.
Yeah, this was actually one of the better games this morning, I found. You know, very exciting. This is what we wanted. We wanted to come down right to the end.